What's good, everybody? It's man Big Dom coming back at you another True Players podcast episode. Tonight, I'm gonna talk about big news that's going on right now in Mets world. The signing of Juan Soto coming to the New York Mets, coming from the Yankees. Let me tell you something, guys. When I fell asleep last night and I heard that my TV was on, okay, and I thought it was a dream. I heard that the Mets had signed Juan Soto. So I had to turn on look at my TV screen. It was on ESPN, of course, and bam, the actual reality happened. The Mets have signed Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million for the year, for 15 years. That's basically his entire career. However, it comes with a caveat here. Um, Basically, he has an opt out after 5 years, in which the Mets can veto by increasing his salary by $4 million. So, when it's all said and done, he's going to be a Met for the rest of his career. Let's say trade him, and his contract in essence could be over $800 million when it's all said and done. It's a front loaded contract with signing bonus and things like that. So I'm telling you, Uncle Steve did what he's supposed to do, got the contract done, and now Juan Soto is a Met. So, but where do we go from here now? Expectation has been has risen. Where do the Mets go from here? They lost Severino to the A's due to the fact that they were pursuing Juan Soto during the meetings. And what happens is, you lose a pitcher, a valuable key contributor to the team last season, to the A's. I mean, he went for the money, so you can't knock him for that. All right. However, you still got two pressing issues. Once you do this, David Stern and Steve Cohen, you can't stop there. As I'm watching the Knicks down by two against the Raptors, you can't stop from here. I know the announcers are like, "Oh, we can move Vientos to first base and have Ronnie Mauricio at third base in case Pete Alonso does not sign." You got phase one completed. You got the big bat, Juan Soto. Now the phase two is to resign Pete Alonso. If you want to be a championship team, then you got to sign Pete Alonso to a decent contract. You can't let him walk out the door either. You see what the Dodgers are doing? The Dodgers are basically buying World Series right now. They don't care about the luxury tax threshold or anything like that. The Mets should not either. All right. Granted, the Yankees did give a competitive contract offer to Juan Soto. The Mets just added one more year. That's the difference between the contracts. The Yankees did not play sidelines. They were going for it to re-sign Juan Soto to keep him with Aaron Judge. Okay, but now, like I said, where do the Mets go from here? Okay, you got to sign Pete Alonso. You got to re-sign Manaea because the weakness of the team is still starting pitching. That's what cost them against the Dodgers was starting pitching. Pitchers who were unable to go 5, 6, 7 innings, and then you have to use a bullpen committee by the fourth inning. So they still got to sign a big starter, and they still got to resign Sean Manaea. And then now you got the team that's possibly could compete with the Dodgers for the World Series next season. You know, I'm looking forward to it. It's a very big off season so far. But once the Mets get a big time starter, they miss out on Blake Snell again. He to the Dodgers. Excuse me. He went to the Dodgers. So all this focus on Juan Soto cost them some other pieces for the team. Now they got that they crossed that bridge. Now focus on the other parts now. The Mets still, like I said, still need stuff starting pitching. Got to hope and continue that Mark Vientos continues his rise, whether it be at third base or even DH. Because I'm not trading the young kids at all for anybody. Whether it's Acuna or Mauricio. I'm not trading them for anybody. Those guys, you just have to learn how to learn how to play another position, especially Mauricio. So the focus during spring training is to have Mauricio play some center field. Because I think that's going to be his position on his team for the time being is center field. So with you know we have some pickups. Frankie Montes, Clay Holmes. I'm kind of intrigued by the Frankie Montes um, pickup, but the Clay Holmes, I think he's going to be come out the bullpen. He's not wasn't that great of a pitcher for the Yankees. He blew a couple of saves, so he wasn't that great. So I'm not too confident on him, but I'm still confident in the manager that we have in that dugout, Carlos Mendoza. I'm still confident in him. I'm still confident in David Stearns to make more moves. Get a good setup guy for Edwin Diaz, and hopefully the Edwin Diaz kid, um, as I'm seeing Jalen Brunson walk off the court, pass to back to the locker room. It's not good. But anyway, like I said, exciting times, but there's more to come. There's more moves to be made, and City Field's going to be rocking next season. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be rocking next season. I'm actually excited. This team should be very good in the NL East, but to keep in mind one thing: the NL East is a beast of a division. You got three strong, very strong teams in the East. You got the Braves, you got the Phillies, you got the Mets, all competing for that division title. As you saw last year, it didn't matter if you had to go to the wild card. The Mets still got to the National League Championship Series by beating the Phillies. But I would prefer to have that first round off and wait for the team in the divisional series, in my opinion. But like I said, good times is rolling. Happy about the Juan Soto pickup. Still more work to be done, and I believe in this front office of David Stern. Don't you wish the Jets had a front office like the New York Mets? Don't you wish the Jets had ownership like the New York Mets? A guy who's competent, who knows what he's doing, and is all about winning, and willing to step aside to let his professionals, who are experts in the field that he owns, make the decisions. When I was writing up this podcast, I basically wrote this podcast on the fly. So I had to come up and bless you guys with an episode. But I made myself. I was not going to talk about any New York teams, any New York football teams. I was not going to do that. But I had to talk about the New York Jets. The Giants, just stick a fork in them. They're done. I think benching Daniel Jones really took the air out of that team. They're done. I don't think they're going to win another game the rest of the season. Drew Lock is not the answer. Tommy DeVito, as you saw, is not the answer. It's not the answer for the long run of the New York Giants. They're going to be in the market for a quarterback, and possibly, Sam Darnold may be a Giant quarterback next season. You never know. You never know. But when I stepped away, stepped out the house. When I left my house, it was the Jets was winning 23-15. They're playing some good football against the Miami Dolphins, a team that's making a little comeback in the season. They start off slow, they're making their run. And when I came home, I got my family members was in the house, tell me that the Jets lost the football game in overtime, and I was like, y'all lying, y'all bugging, y'all lying. Like, no, they really lost. So I went on ESPN and looked at the link and was like, oh shit, the Jets did lose. I said, wow, what a feat. What a way to lose a football game. How many games have the Jets have lost this season where you could easily say that they could have won? This team reminds me of the 96 Jets. In close games, but couldn't close it out. Finished off 1-15. That was the season they went 1-15. Then Leon has made a bold move to bring in Bill Parcells. I don't care what anybody says. Leon Hess is a far superior owner than Woody Johnson of the New York Jets, in my opinion. The Jets, it seems like they got Mike Tannenbaum and I forgot the guy's name from Detroit, the general manager from Detroit, doing the search for the new GM and head coach. I'm here saying to myself like, "Hey, Mike Tannenbaum, why don't you just put yourself in that GM seat again? You learned your lessons from the failure in Miami. You learned your lesson from the tail end of your GM career with the Jets. How about you run the team? You're great with money. You're great with the salary cap, and you know how to make moves within the salary cap to enable the team to get some players to compete next season. But we all know if Mike Tannenbaum comes back as coach, comes back as GM, you know Rex is going to follow up behind him. We know this. The team, people, the fans, my fellow Jet fans are idiots. Are we going to rebuild again? The team has talent on both sides of the ball. Why in the world do you want to rebuild for possibly the fourth time in the past 10 years? What will be the benefit of that? This team is still our fans, we are starved for a playoff appearance. We haven't been in the playoffs in 14 years. We're not going to make it this year. I don't know what's going on with the Knicks. They're not playing the strong defense. They're down by 3 against the Raptors. Or something you see me turning and look in my head. But like I said, what what else do the Jets can do to next season to possibly have a winning team on the field? It starts with GM, starts with head coach, but most importantly, it starts with the owner. Is the owner willing to stay out of the way to enable the new regime to come in and work and do their jobs and restoring Jet pride in that locker room in that organization? Me personally, it's time for a new owner. I don't know. There was rumblings that he may try to sell the team. Trust me, if I had Steve Cohen's number, I'm gonna try to text him while you'll buy the Jets. If that's the case, I sincerely doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see, right? I'm kind of disappointed in my Knicks right now. They're losing to the Raptors by 3 points. Not playing great defense. You saw Jalen Brunson go into the locker room. I want to have my guy Matthew come and talk to me on the podcast soon. We're gonna set up at the time. We're gonna have a good episode for everybody. We talk about the Knicks. It's been the NBA season has been moving very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you get one day off and then boom, another game is on. And it's hard to find time to give you a great episode, up to date episode instead of giving you some we kind of lag. We don't want to lag behind it. We want to be on top of everything because this is a good Nick group, but they're struggling right now against the Raptors. Just like they struggled against the Pistons the other day. Not hitting 3 pointers. Okay, there you go, Macau. He just tied the game up with a 3 pointer. So, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep expanding. The True Players podcast we're gonna keep growing. We're looking for new co-hosts. We're looking for partnerships. We're looking for sponsors for the podcast. So if you're in the Atlanta area, check out my man Ricky King, Talking Ish Podcast in Atlanta. You see him on the show on a couple of episodes. I hope to have one more episodes on this show very soon. Definitely check out my guy Mars and Down the Den podcast and Down the Den Studios. Check his podcast out on YouTube. And of course, subscribe to my podcast, True Players Podcast on YouTube. TRUPLAYAZ podcast. Remember, search for that on YouTube and you subscribe to my videos. Definitely. Ooh, as Carl Anthony Towns took a tumble. Always holds my breath when he takes a tumble. But on that note, guys, I'm going to end the podcast. Happy the Mets got Juan Soto. Happy about that. Let's see what else. Let's see what other moves that David Stearns could pull off. Can he get that guy from the Orioles, that starting pitcher from the Orioles? Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Hot stove. December meetings. More to come. So it's your man Big Dom. Sign off on this podcast. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.